Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Keith Alexander is my first name. Last name, Bailey, Bailey. As a native New Yorker, and I have disappeared from New York for 21 years, and decided to come back in 2021 and establish myself in 2023 on this very corner here on January 2nd, 2026, right in front of this church, where there is a Ring doorbell camera. As you can see, there's a camera there. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. So, keep this in mind. That Lot Radio did not respond to me and my lawyer's email about getting footage. They just decided not to respond. So, on January 2nd, 2026, I exit out of this establishment from this gate. So from this gate to that point in front of the exit is about 75 to 85 feet in general. So Mr. Jones decided to come out of the booth and follow me from the booth that's inside this establishment, which I don't want to support anymore or don't want to visit. I don't care if my friends are performing anymore. I just don't want to come here anymore since they don't want to cooperate. I came out of this exit, walked right in this path, right in front of the door, where you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cameras can see me walk across the platform right in front where Mr. Joshua Jones decided to put his hands on me the first time. The second time is when, mind you, he threatened to steal my belongings. Then he threatened to kill me. This is where he got pepper sprayed. He runs back to the establishment, grabs a weapon, comes out of this gate, comes back, starts taunting me with words while I'm on the phone with 911, calling about an attempted assault and robbery that took place. He goes back a second time, drops down the weapon, comes back, and then throws a shoe at me where this FDNY, mind you, authorized vehicle is standing. You see where you see this vehicle standing? I was standing right in front of it while he was throwing his shoe. Mind you, at the time of this incident, I was disabled. I was going through some sciatica issues. And not only that, I went rollerblading days before and got injured. But he walks up to me, and this conversation, not even a conversation, this rant he was spilling was about my content as a, mind you, independent journalist, about the community refrigerator that is no longer here and all the bullshit that goes on here with the homeless, right? He says, he heard I've been talking shit on my YouTube. And I told him, you heard wrong, bro. If you're going to blame someone, get facts. Go get a gag order. Or as Sister says, don't touch me. He touched me the second time and tries to pull me down to the ground. This is where the pepper spray comes out, and he got pepper sprayed. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joshua Jones is a homeless individual that drinks more than he should be looking for a job. Let's be honest about that. He should be looking for a job, but instead, he doesn't want to do anything for himself. Mind you, he's not native from New York. He's not from New York. But I want you to see, this is the Lot Radio. I was here. I was a customer. I spend money here every time. But they're refusing to cooperate. So, I'm refusing to show them solidarity anymore. As you can see, there's no cameras in the front. There's only one camera pointing in that direction, but it's not pointing in this direction. But Here is the kicker, though. There's a NYPD CCTV there. There is one right over there, and there's one right on this corner. Now, New York City NYPD had an obligation to do the investigation, but instead, ladies and gentlemen, I was charged with misdemeanor assault, while Mr. Jones was charged with only harassment. And a lot of you on the internet don't believe that was the correct response by NYPD. NYPD should have responded to the 911 call and listened to those 911 calls, as the operator on the 911 call heard Mr. Jones threaten me on the phone. Keep in mind, there's a Ring doorbell right there that records and captures everything. Keep that in mind. Yes, there's a Ring doorbell in front of this church. Now, this church is telling me that there will be someone here tomorrow after 4 p.m. to provide me with that footage. Oh, yes, they are providing me with the footage. So, what I want is, let's see here. Which camera do I want? I want the doorbell Ring camera. I want that camera. I want this camera footage. I want the angle. I want the angle from where I left the establishment to front of this establishment. So what I want NYPD to do is take your footage and look at January 2nd between the times of 10:45 and 11:30. You can clearly see Mr. Jones, NYPD, follow me and attack me and put his hands on me, not once, but twice, and then do his shoe at me, which is a third assault. But there's a camera there, there's a camera there. It can see everything in the distance, right? But the best camera, ladies and gentlemen, is these two up here. Me walking from the establishment, me walking right here in front of this community church establishment, where there's a camera right there that records everything right here. Look, I can tell you where it happened. Right here in front of that Ring doorbell, right here in front of that camera. And mind you, there's a camera right there on the school that can see everything from the distance, NYPD. So, as a New York City, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pull out my credentials. They didn't do their job correctly. Instead, someone was assaulted and almost, mind you, robbed for their belongings. I have every right to pull out the pepper spray to, mind you, as I was temporarily disabled, to defend myself, because, mind you, I wasn't able to run. But instead, I hid behind the vehicle that was parked in the same location where this FDNY, mind you, service vehicle is. As the, mind you, 911 dispatcher told me to get away from him, hide behind something until the police come. The police didn't show up until about 3 minutes later. And he told some baboon story that he knows me, he hangs out with me, and everyone knows you do not hang out with me, you do not associate with me, because all you do is literally steal. And mind you, Mr. Jones, and I'm making a statement, this is not defamation. You stole Jonathan's, and we know you sold Jonathan's audio audio interface recorder. People in the neighborhood before that told me not to dangle or, mind you, hang out with you. I knew that from the very start when he first introduced himself, when he asked me, can I hook him up with a few dollars? That was in 2024, I'm sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just sharing why NYPD didn't do their job. Mind you, there's cameras all over this place, man. Why don't the New York City prosecutor do their job? But they're not going to do it. You know why? They wanted me to stay in jail for something I did in Wisconsin, mind you, protecting my wife, mind you, 18 years ago. They tried to bring up something that happened 18 years ago. That's how desperate New York City prosecution is. So with that said, they can keep being desperate because guess what? There's a camera there, There's a camera there. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. There's a camera there. There. But there's no camera at this establishment other than the camera that's facing that way. This is bad for business. This is why I don't want to support this business anymore. If they don't want to cooperate with me on this investigation, then they don't need to be in place. I'm sorry, neighborhood, but this is my neighborhood as well. I'm native to New York. I was born here, raised here, and then raised elsewhere. But for the fact that this community doesn't want to share to get rid of the problems, and Mr. Jones is a problem. He's not a customer. That day, I was a customer, and I got disrespected by Lot Radio by not replying back to my emails. So with that said, everyone, I don't want to support. I just want to make this video to be very transparent and clear how many cameras are here and why Mr. Jones really pretty much fucked up. So with that said, to badger me and rent over my content that you never saw because you don't have a device. Mr. Jones does not have a cell phone device. He doesn't have a laptop to his name. Like he said, I heard you've been talking shit. Doing my job is not talking shit. Doing my job is actually giving the community what they want, information. If you're going to violate my First Amendment, then don't be an American. You're being a tyrant. That's what you are. You violate the same First Amendment rights that I have. But guess what, Mr. Jones? You don't have this. And you don't have the idea of education that I have. You're going to, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, he is going to go to jail for, mind you, lying on the report. That's a felony. You're going to go to jail for assault, and you're going to go to jail for attempted robbery. I guarantee it. Because this is not supposed to happen in the city that you have so many police officers that's supposed to protect you, but they don't want to listen to your side of the story. But that's not it, everyone. My Miranda rights were not read to me. Yes, my Miranda rights were not even read to me. They didn't even tell me what I was being charged with until we got to the precinct, which is a violation of my civil rights. I have a right to be arrested with my Miranda rights read to me if I did a crime. I didn't commit a crime. I was protecting myself. And you wonder why we moved to community refrigerator. This is the reason why NYPD prosecutors, why we removed and we voted to remove the community refrigerator from this location because of problems like that and Mr. Jones. He gets mad at me because he claims that I'm the reason why the community refrigerator. Yes, I am the reason why the community refrigerator got removed because you guys do not know how to share. I donated sushi. I donated over $500 worth of sushi, and they just feed it to the birds or they just sell it. That's not the community. That is just being inconsiderate to others. So with that said, I'm done.